Hello, I hope the music's not overpowering. I'm in the area is Haymarket in Edinburgh, having my favourite food, which isn't Scottish, it's Vietnamese. Anyway, fun. The thing I wanted to say was about we had a thing on the I was listening to it in BBC, the propaganda radio. Not very many channels in Scotland on radio. It's actually quite surprising. That'll be the totalitarian control, because I'm pretty sure that'll be something that's not devolved to the radio waves. So they can keep a handle on all the propaganda that they produce. So today I heard a few things before Nicola Sturgeon's quite disappointing speech, where she said it wouldn't be a fast road. I don't see why not. You've got 55%, 6 years ago now? 55% voting 6 years ago somehow have more higher precedence than 62% voting 4 years ago. I don't understand why. And also that it looks like there's a lot of groundswell for it to happen. I just think she's making a big, massive mistake, and thank God I'm not going to be sitting it out waiting for nothing to happen in Scotland. I'll be back in Slovenia. It really sucks. It's just pathetic how slow the system moves. We don't have to be as slow as Westminster. We don't have to be useless like it took them all these years to do Brexit. What I think is required now is, in order to get the British government to move their collective asses and actually do something about the mandate of their people, of the English people, because that is Britain is England, right? It took the people to actually create the BREXIT party. I think the same thing's going to have to happen with Scotland, because if they're going to play by the rules and be and shy away from any aspect of maverick nature, that's not how you get your own way. That's not how you freedom fight, for want of a better expression. And the thing is, people can say, oh, and my brother actually says it quite a lot. Oh yeah, they know what they're doing in the background. They're obviously they know what's going on in the background. Obviously, they're dealing behind the scenes with the EU and the UN and asking their opinions. But I reckon in this case, we're not a banana republic. We're not Sudan, and South Sudan's got its independence. Kosovo's got its independence. Unless we are more of a basket case than those countries, I would say, yeah, probably hold back. But we're not. And this is the thing that's pathetic. If you were to actually make a move on this now, it's the best time. The best time was actually a couple of years ago when Brexit was first announced, because that was the point then that they should have declared independence, and they failed to. And this is why I'm losing confidence in Nicola Sturgeon, because to me that was the first big faux pas. And now we've got another one right now, which she's saying this isn't going to be a fast track. Unless she's bobbing and weaving and trying to throw them off the scent, it's the complete wrong thing to say. And it's the wrong thing to do, because if this doesn't happen this year, they've lost the element of surprise. And because right now, all the English MPs, for the first time, if you look at the Houses of Parliament down south, right, they were talking today about the fact that usually they're empty because they're just lazy buggers. They don't do anything, right? But today it was all busy. Everyone's going around, they're crapping themselves because they know that they push for this agenda to happen to help the banks out. The people of England, and of course the suckers in Wales as well, and the suckers in Scotland, and the vast minority is what is it? 38% in Scotland and about the same in Northern Ireland that voted idiocy. They voted an economic decision that's going to ruin ruin the union. I'm going to stop there for a second. They keep referring to the UK as a country. They don't refer to the EU as a country. Of course, they do refer to the USA as a country. I resent how they refer to the UK as a country. It's a union, just like the EU was. It's not a country. It never will be a country. And if Scotland doesn't deserve independence, then Israel doesn't deserve independence, and no other country in the world deserves independence, because that's a country based upon a religion. We've got a country based upon a people. Surely that's stronger than a religion. you know. Religion's just a belief system. You know, Scottish is who we are. So, yeah, a bit of a sidetrack there, but the mistakes are being made right now, I think. As I say, unless she pulls a rabbit out of a hat, which I don't think is going to happen, because whenever it comes to Scotland, I just expect disappointment. I expect stupidity. I expect the dumb manoeuvre. We should have just, no, not again. It's whether it's sport or whether it's politics. Scotland's just a big disappointment. And here we go again, just the same old, same old. A big disappointment on its way. Great, fantastic. So yeah, what I'm suggesting should happen is, just like the Brexit party, we need a Scottish independence party. Even if it's just temporary. Actually, it'd be better if it was just temporary, because you don't want to detract from people supporting SNP, the party that's going to deliver independence. But in the same way that the UKIP and the Tories, although they both wanted, the Tories are lying. They've wanted to be free of the EU to ensure their fraud goes undetected for many, many years. You've got to remember, the British banking system, and this includes what you have over in Hong Kong with HSBC, it is the biggest, it probably outshines America for this, the biggest fraud in the world, right? It's for money laundering, and it's you know, this is why we have all these tax havens. America doesn't have the same kind of sheltering that Britain has. So I would say that besides laundering terrorist money and laundering money from the internal terrorists, the financial terrorists that the UK has, I would say that it's also sheltering the finances from everyday people. Like, you saw a few years ago David Cameron, you know, he used the same tax loophole as his father used. You know, this is just the UK all over. That's why I call it great shitting. It is. Yeah, Scotland's missing a trick here, and if we don't do anything about it soon, it's going to be too late. We already are right now a region of England, right? Thanks very much. Oh, yum, yum, yum.
Yes.
And thanks. But yeah, this is just going to cement that. We don't do it this year. Scotland is a region of a country which will be called the UK, but right now it's still just a fake union. I really hope we put an end to this. It's pathetic and it makes me sick. Anyway, I'm going to be in Edinburgh tomorrow in an indie protest march kind of thing. I may as well do it while I'm here. But other than that, I can't wait to get back over to the continent. Because, you know, it's one thing putting up with the weather here. It's another putting up with the political situation, this pathetic, just gutless, spineless situation where, and especially when you know that a majority of your country thinks a certain way, but even those that do think that way, half of them are still too spineless to say, you know, it looks like you're not going to be able to just play the system and bide your time and vote your way through this, because the longer it takes, the more snares and loopholes they will come up with. This is England you're talking about. The sneakiest nation in the history, in recorded history. There's no other nation, you look back to the Romans, there's no other nation that has used skullduggery and sneakiness and basically policies and loopholes, legal situations, legal strangleholds to command so much plunder and, stranglehold of other countries. It's just literally disgusting. All right, I'm going to leave it at that and enjoy my fa. See ya.